Ice Cream Cones for Sale by Elaine Greenstein. Have you heard about the Great Ice Cream Cone controversy? It all began on April 30th, 1904, opening day of the World's Fair in St. Louis, Missouri. There were more than 50 ice cream sellers at the fair and, they say, a lot of waffle makers. At some point, the two came together to form the ice cream cone. But who came up with the idea first? Was it Arnold Fortescue? Was it Ernest Hamwee? Was it Charles Menches and Lady Friend? Was it Abe Dumar? Was it David Avieu? Some folks say it was a young man named Arnold Fortescue. Arnold said that he ran out of dishes at his ice cream stand one warm day, so he asked Ernest Hamwee at the next stand over to make waffles for him, which he rolled into cones. But Ernest Hamwee, a waffle maker from Syria, said it was his idea. He took one of his warm waffle cookies, which he had called zalabia, rolled it up, and offered it to his neighbor. "Arnold, my boy, see if your scope fits this." After that, no one wanted a dish, everyone wanted a cone. So they say. But other people claim Abe Dumar dreamed up the cone. Abe sold souvenirs at the fair during the day. At night he hung around talking to waffle makers and watching the dancers. Supposedly, one night Abe got a great idea, which he shared with Ernest Hamwee, who liked the idea so much he gave Abe one of his waffle irons to take home to New Jersey. So they say. But there were still more competing claims. David Avieu came all the way from Turkey to St. Louis. On the way, he stopped in France. He said he got the idea from all those fancy paper cones he saw used in Paris. Ooh la la. But that's not all. A man named Charles Menches claimed that a lady friend gave him the idea after he'd handed her flowers and an ice cream sandwich at the same time. She took off the top of the sandwich and rolled it into a vase for the flowers and rolled the bottom into a cone for the ice cream. Arnold, Ernest, Abe, David, and Charles and his lady friend were all at the fair. But who is the true inventor? None of them. The honor belongs to a man named Italo Muriciani. In 1895, Italo came to the United States with a suitcase and his grandmother's recipe for ice cream. Soon he had his own pushcart in New York City. Every day, from Wall Street to Houston Street, Italo scooped ice cream and then he waited, and waited, and waited. He waited for his customers to finish their treat and return the dish before he could push his cart ahead and sell more ice cream. Ice cream, 4 cents a dish. Get your ice cold ice cream. The truth is that I couldn't find letters or articles about how Italo actually came up with his big idea, but this is what I imagine. Every afternoon, Italo stops by Louie's bake shop. Perhaps Italo gives Louie a dish of ice cream, and Louie gives Italo a cookie. Maybe Italo uses Louie's sink. Remember, this is still the made-up part. And then one day, a big black dog bumps into Italo. The dish slips from Italo's hand, the scoop flies in the air. Somehow Italo catches the dish. Louie catches the ice cream on the cookie. Italo can't get the idea out of his mind. Maybe Louie shows Italo that you can shape a cookie when it's still warm, and that some cookies will bend more than others. Louie starts making cookies for Italo so he can try the idea. I imagine that Italo sells so many cones that Louie can't make cookies fast enough, so Italo invents a special mold for Louie to make 10 cookies at once. No dishes, no waiting, no washing. The last part is true. The mold was great. In September 1903, Italo sent a copy of the design to the U.S. Patent Office so he could stake his claim as the inventor of the ice cream cone. Documents prove that Italo was awarded the patent on December 15, 1903, months before the World's Fair opened in St. Louis. Of course, as you know, that didn't stop all those other people in St. Louis from claiming it was their invention. Probably, as far as they knew, they were the first. And to add one more tasty wrinkle to our story, if you look closely, it seems we could be talking about two different kinds of cones. Italo's is more like the kind we now call wafer cone, and the St. Louis version is more like what we call a sugar cone, or, you guessed it, a waffle cone. No matter what kind of cone, everyone agrees on this advice. Look around the bottom edge of the scoop to prevent drips. Don't lick too hard, the ice cream will fall out. Never bite the bottom of the cone while there's ice cream in it. And there's no better treat than an ice cold ice cream cone. Yum.